Hello everybody. Today you're here with Claro Beauty with your host Claudia Lara, and is a time or a video for fragrance. So today I'm very excited because it's interesting. This is going to be a little mental, I guess, because I'm introducing, and we'll see how far we can go, the Harmonist. This is the house of fragrance, the Harmonist. Now, this is very interesting. Excuse it that it's a little dirty. This is not new. I got this over a year ago, but I haven't really had time to play with it. I did play with it when I first got it, and then I left it, with COVID and moves and changes and many things. But I've been wanting to do a video because this is the way that I rediscover or remember the fun of especially this house of fragrance. So I must say, it's very interesting when you first go to the website. I think this is an Oriental company. And so they do, I say Oriental, I'm not very sure from where. I mean, there's many countries over there. Maybe I'll say in this little thing that we'll go through. But it's interesting how you discover the whole house of the fragrance. Why interesting? Well, let's begin with, I ordered this discovery set. And this discovery set comes with 10. A little booklet, comes with 10 little fragrances. They call them yin and yang, male and female. I think the yang are the males and the yin are the females. Interestingly enough, I think the yang, which is the male, will be the white ones. But we'll discover it together. So again, it's a little interesting because I'll tell you the first kind of overall. So when you go there, there's fragrances, and then they have the PREQUEL collection, and then they have the yin collection, the yang collection, and the yin transformation. So as you see, there are 4 kind of areas, right? And then the PREQUEL collection, they have the sun and the moon. And then the yin collection is this 5 that I just showed you. Then the yang collection is this 5 that is right here. And then they have a yin transformation. Now that yin transformation, I'm not very sure, but I thought back on the day, and we'll go through it a little bit, that it was sort of helped transform either the yin or the yang, or it was kind of the complementary. So it was kind of, the Joker. And why I say the Joker, not as a comedy clown kind of way, but if you get into all this thing about astrology or the reading of the element, the feng shui, or feng shui, or the the Chinese horoscope or things like that, they usually have a very specific reading, and then they always leave this or add this thing that transforms all of them, or complements all of them, or brings wholeness to all of them. Something like that. And isn't life like that? Even science, isn't the formulas, they always have this plus this plus this plus this plus this, and then at the end they always leave the X or the E for ether, or the N for, the percentage that is not exactly it. It's like a comodín, a joker in the cards, I don't know why I'm going through all that, but let's continue. Well, I know why I'm going through all that, because this house of fragrance involves you in all of this. And I always have said that when I start with any brand, makeup or fragrance, as I start getting to know the brand, I start getting to feel a lot of the behind it, or the intention, or the purpose, or the whole creative force through the brand. And I think that's very important, because if there's not that passion behind it, which is people, and obviously whoever created the idea or the dream of creating the brand or the product, I don't think they will catch on. I don't think they will be strong enough or out there enough for us to even be able to purchase it. So what I mean is, behind every product, there's always the passion and the feeling of someone or many someones. And that's part of why I like this whole beauty community or beauty products and creative force behind it. That is fashion, really, and what catches on collectively and what doesn't. So anywho, let's continue with this fragrances. Now, the way I think I'm gonna divide this, because there's too many fragrances, that will be 5, 10 plus the other 3, that will be 13 fragrances. I don't think I can go through all of them in one video, but I wanted to do this sort of intro to kind of tell you the categories, and then we can go to each of them. So I guess we can start, well, this is a deviation because, so we have the prequel collection that I told you, Sun and Moon. So that will make sense to start there. However, I do have to mention, when you're gonna purchase a fragrance here, which is very interesting, they have a quiz that you can take. It takes 5 minutes. I don't know how many questions there were, 5, 7, I don't know how many questions, very simple questions that have to do with your birthday. And they ask you to fill that up if you want to see what your metal or what your gene element is. Yeah, that's what they call it, element. And then they give you what they think the fragrance is for you. And I have a feeling it's a little based on astrology, because they ask you for your birthday and your time of birth and where you were born. So obviously has something to do with where the planets are, etc. Now, I don't know, probably this is the Oriental sort of reading, which has to do more with Feng Shui. And I'm just saying this is a guess, because I know when I have done a long time ago, I'm talking years ago, when I wanted to figure out for my home, for the Feng Shui, you know, what were the elements and the directions and where you're supposed to put what, because each direction represents that part in your life and all of these things. I remember a little bit, not very good, but I think I was metal. That's what I think I remember. Metal something, because it's not just the element, and there's something else. You know, the same as the Chinese horoscope. Here we go again. But you know how they have like your wood tiger, or, you know, they have 12 animals, and then also is related to a metal or an element. It's something like that. So it's the main, and then there's subs, sort of like this. So I remember I was metal. And when I did the quiz here, I am also metal. I think I'm gene metal, something like that. And why gene? Because gene is female. So that was easy. They do ask you what your, if you're a male or a female. And they do give you the option if you don't want to say. So you don't have to reveal your whole life story right there and there. But I did. So, so I'm gene metal. And based on that, they do recommend me a fragrance. Now we're gonna smell them again, but for what I remember, it was not one of my favorites. I don't know if it was supposed to do something, but I was like, I don't know if I relate to it. However, I'm very curious now. So, so part of me wants to start there, but then we have to start with the sun and the moon. So, decisions. Well, the important part that I wanted to convey in this video was that the way this is organized or suggested or created is that you can get the fragrance for yourself, because they do believe in this 5 elements, and it's all a part of that. And with this reading that they do, because they do name some of your traits or personalities or things like that, they also categorize, I don't know if they have here, like they have what fragrance it will be good for you if you wanted to socialize, or if you want to be creative, or if you wanted prosperity and seduction, or if you wanted status, or if you wanted wisdom. So apparently with this reading, not only do you have your own fragrance that suits you based on these things, but you also have the fragrance you could or should wear in order to to improve or be better at, or that it will just go well with this type of activities. So isn't that interesting and amazing? I mean, it's interesting that a brand will do this. I wouldn't say amazing because throughout fragrances, it's always been talked about that. You know, fragrance is a relationship. You really have to find your own, and it is based a lot on your personality or your activities. And there's a lot of perfumers, sorry about that motor that just passed by, that when you ask them what fragrance you recommend for me, they want to talk to you a little bit more. They want to find out about who you are and what kind of activities or how is your day about. And then they can recommend a fragrance that might suit you or might work for you. So that's why this is not so far out, but I hadn't seen it on a house to actually, you know, go ahead and give you the quiz and then recommend the fragrance and then and give you a little reading. So I like that. It was entertaining. It was a nice way to involve me in the world of fragrance and in the world of the Harmonist fragrance. Now, I don't know how successful they've been with this whole thing of pairing and this and that. I know they've been successful as a house of fragrance, niche fragrances, because they're new, but now they're growing. So there you have it. So where should we start? Now it's been a little long, but I thought all of this was important. So now that I said that, if you want to see the elements, the yin and the yang, in my review on them, in particular the one that they suggested for me, I'll list the link below, and you can see the second video. Probably this will take like 3 videos, so this is the first one. So having said that, let's start then from the beginning, which will be, well, not from the beginning because we already passed the beginning, but for what I was saying, that there is the PREQUEL collection that shows 2, the Sun Force and the Moon Glory. Now, I have them right here. So let's do first the moon. I was gonna go with the sun, but probably the sun is gonna be stronger. So I wanna start with, I don't know about stronger, but probably more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but you know what I mean. I mean, the sun and the moon, right? I mean, which one do you think it will be a little more subtle or? I try to get out of camera for that drink because it's full of lipstick. All right, so let's begin. I'm a little nervous to try it because I know these are strong. Let me see if they're as strong as I remember, because so far, to me, the strongest house will be Inicio, right? I described that. I mean, after Inicio, I don't know if anything else is as close as strong or explosive or invasive as that house of fragrance and all the fragrances involved. However, this one, for what I remember when I first got it, which I hadn't tried Initia yet, I thought it was strong. So let's see if I think the same now that I have a little tiny more of, well, so far it came out quite a lot on that sprayer. Oh. This is a lot more pleasant than I remember. This is Moon Glory. Wow, this is very nice. All right, so the first thing, every fragrance in this house has certain words that describe the fragrance, which is clever. I mean, I guess this is part of what we do here on YouTube, right? But, oh my God, this is so lovely. Wow, I've forgotten about it. So Moon Glory, the 3 words is captivating, dazzling, and sensual. Captivating. All right. Oh, well, here, let me read a little bit about what they mean by the PREQUEL collection. Our PREQUEL collection celebrates 2 forces that inform all aspects of life on Earth, the sun and the moon. The sun colors our perceptions and reveals the vibrancy of our surroundings. The moon determines our movements, our patterns, our rhythms. Sun force and moon glory are the embodiment of this. Two fragrances that are separate yet together, distinct yet inextricable link. This is so gorgeous. And then they have somebody dancing, a man and a woman. I mean, I love it. It's sort of like, yeah, like they complement each other. I guess the whole idea here is that a male wears one and a female wears the other one. And then when they combine and make love or just be together, however you want to see it, it just complements and I guess makes a full universe together. Or a baby. Ooh, because this whole house is very sensual. Yeah, I think it's all of it. I mean, regardless if the smell is pleasant or unpleasant, because they're kind of strong, we'll get to them. But I think at the end, they all are very sensual. So, oh my God. Another thing that it says moon glory, because let's get back to that's the one I apply. So moon glory celebrates the poetry of the moon, a force that shapes every movement, pattern, and rhythm on earth. Wow. Okay. So it says the fragrance is rooted in the intoxicating scent of flowers at dusk. Oh, so I just want to make sure it's all about the moon glory because, oh. So yes, the fragrance is rooted in the intoxicating scent of flowers at dusk. The delicacy of Hawaiian jasmine, queen of the night, and passion flower is paired with the sweetness of lychee, honey, and ylang ylang. It's grateful fragrance that embraces the wearer. So my thoughts on it. If you've been with me, you know that what I do with fragrances, I read a little bit about it because I think it's important, the intention and purpose and the poetic description that the fragrances websites do. But then I try to describe it, who is it for and what for, and of course my thoughts on it. You saw when I first apply and I smell it, I'm like, oh my God, that's delicious. So it does have that quality that is just invigorating and delicious. It's sweet. Now that I wear it over a minute, it is sweet. For me, it's getting to be too sweet. And when we're talking about these fragrances and niche fragrances, when I say sweet, I don't mean like the young sweet. I don't mean like sweet, you know, a lot of fragrances out there, especially if they are from famous people, they tend to be, I call them sweet for the masses. You know, they're sweet and impalagating but it's still not so natural because they're a little into the synthetic, or they kind of smell all the same. I mean, not at the beginning, but sort of at the end in that sweet sort of way. Here we're talking about a different level of fragrance. Even that's why they're not so economical and not easy to get, right? They're not sold everywhere. And so when I say sweet, it's still under the area of flower sweetness, right? And so this one has an elegance to it because there's this sweet, and the sweet does cut through. So it's the first thing you get is this sweetness. But then it does get involved in the white, I wouldn't say white flower, but sort of a floral, elegance to it. So there's a sweet that it does cut through like a arrow. In my opinion, it is, you know, sometimes I describe jasmine or some rose fragrances. I say it does get you to the heart of the fragrance. But then there's other times that I say, no, it kind of helps you open up and you are involved in the fragrance as if you're in a field of flowers. So it's very different. This one pierces through. So the first thing is I feel the sweetness, and then I feel some of the flower essence that might kind of surround you. So in that sense, it's very nice, but I can't stop, or I can't avoid the sweetness of it. So for that reason, it might be a little too much. And it's interesting because the bottle is gray, silver, almost platinum. And because of the sweetness that this is giving me, I almost look at the gray and rest because of the neutral, kind of like, oh, thank goodness. So yes, I mentioned some of the ingredients, and obviously, I don't know why they say, it says intoxicating scent of flowers at dusk. Intoxicating scent of flower, yes. At dusk, I'm not sure, but it says the delicacy of Hawaiian jasmine. Absolutely, and jasmine usually is the one that cuts through. It does have that, but it's not, when I smell it, I don't say it's jasmine. So it has the cut through, the sweetness, but then it sort of dissolves into this combination of flowers. And I guess that's where the passion flower, queen of the night, and it says sweetness of lychee, honey, and lan. Maybe it's the honey that it is becoming too much, or the combination of it, but it is sweet. The three words were captivated, dazzling, and sensual. I mean, sensual I can see because a lot of those fragrances that are what I call partying, go out partying in seductive or in a loud way, they're usually very sweet and strong. This one has the sweet and strong. So to me, this is not necessarily sensual. It is, I wouldn't say seducing, but it is, look at me, I'm sweet. So I guess if that's your way of seducing, you know, it will be seducing. But to me, I wouldn't say sensual. Captivating, yeah, well, it captivates if you walk into a room, yes. Because it was so pleasant from the start, right? I mean, it was very pleasant. Now, to end here, what would I wear this for? Well, definitely I would wear it for night, more for you know, a nice dinner. I like open space. I think this will be a little too much to be in a car with because they're not settled. I'm sure it's gonna settle down eventually. I'm hoping. But at this moment, it's not settling. It's strong. It's staying put. Now, it's not invading the whole room. And so it's not invasive. But, and I can see how it will stop invading me. You know, when you apply something, it's strong, I can see it's there, but it's not in my face, like other houses have been. But it's not understated what I'm forgetting about it. And every time I move my hands, I get a swift of it. And so, yeah, it is lovely, it's nice. I will wear it for a night out, yes. I don't think I will wear it during the day. I like a little more understated, a little subtle, more subtle in the sweetness perhaps. But it's beautiful, it's pleasant. So I can see people liking this one. So we're gonna end here. Now this is gonna be very interesting how I'm going to, you know, introduce. Well, you know what? We're not gonna end here. No, yes we are. No, we're not. No, yes we are. Because I wanna talk about the sun. All right, so I decided I will talk about the sun in this video. I was gonna cut it short, but I decided to do both in this video. And if you know, hopefully you'll be able to fast forward to the sun if this is what you wanted to smell. So let's move to the sun, and I'll put it on my other hand. Sun force. Now, one thing to look at, the moon glory, very yellow, and the sun, kind of more clear liquid. Now let's apply a little bit of it. This is the sun, yes, Sun Force. All right. Thankfully, this sprayers, I mean, I put a lot, it's dripping, but ooh, yes. It does definitely complement each other like it's supposed to, the sun and the moon. So the sun, the 3 words is brilliant, elegant, and sensual. Well, there's essential again. I'm telling you, this house is all about sensuality, sexuality. So the brief description is, Sun Force celebrates the vitality of the sun, a force that colors our perception and reveals the vibrancy of our surroundings. The fragrance conjures the scent of citrus and exotic woods, intensifying in the afternoon heat. The brightness of Hawaiian pomelo enlivens the enigmatic nature of benzoin, vetiver, and sandalwood. It is an assured fragrance that energizes the wearer. Okay. Well, I think they meant this one for the male. I have a feeling. It's just a woman and a man can wear both, the moon or the sun, or both together. But this one has the fragrance more towards what usually male's fragrances smell like. Not to mention the woods and the vetiver and all of this, which I believe they're more grounding, more male, more green. Although this is not green, but you know what I mean. So the fragrance is very lovely. But again, they're strong. I do smell the vetiver in it, and I just get a hint of soap, but in a nice way, like a clean smell. So that is refreshing. It's very nice. It's very, very nice. And I think I could see, well, this is interesting because I can see my husband wearing it. And I was gonna say, and I can see him wearing through the day. You know, it's not like a night fragrance. And then I thought, I could see him wearing those in Me the Moon. You know, just like they say, they do sort of complement. And if he was wearing this, which sort of is a strong smell, I don't feel so awkward wearing the strong, sweet fragrance of the moon. And now I'm wondering if we were in the car together and they complement each other. It's lovely. Oh my God, it's so lovely. This is so interesting. So I'm starting to want to talk about the sun, the fragrance by itself, but give me a second because I'm really enjoying the combination of the two and just the images of two people wearing it at the same time, you know, the sun and the moon and being together, and what it creates is so lovely. Like, I'm not so sure if you could do that on one person, right? Like if I would to combine them, and I might do that a little bit at the end and just tell you if I would wear that. But first, let me give you the description of the sun, right? Holy moly. This is so lovely. So, well, I think I said it all. I mean, I said the ingredients. It says conjures the scents of citrus, exotic woods, and the brightness of the Hawaiian pomelo, enlivens the nature of benzoin, vetiver, and sandalwood. So that should give you there a little bit of what it is. I did see a man wearing it of any age. I mean, I see a man of my age. I see a man of older. I see a youngster. It isn't strong. I mean, this is a niche fragrance. So it's not an understated. But I do see it for work. I do see it for outdoorsy. I do see it for luncheon. I do see it for dinner because it is loud enough. I don't think I would see it to sit down and read a book, or if you're in vacation in shorts and sandals, you know, it might be like, whoa, you're really wearing a fragrance, but any, right? So it's not that understated and subtle, it is strong. But if you are to go and do something where you are at least dressed casual, you know, like a polo and a pants or something like that, and for the lady, if you're at least having like a sundress or something, you know, like it's not just leisure doing errands. I mean, you can be doing errands, but a little dressed up, if that makes sense. Then I do see them. You can wear them. Now, the final question, because I do like them, and I'm saying that it could be worn for all of these things. And then the question is, would I buy it? And unfortunately, I wouldn't buy a full bottle of this because they're too strong for me. Maybe I will get used to it, but yeah, they will be a lot for me to wear. My lifestyle doesn't convey this, but if it did, like if I was, I don't know, because even if I was in community and social interaction for work, I like something more understated. And so, yeah, it wouldn't, this is not for me, but that doesn't mean that I don't really, really enjoy it and like it and recommend it. So, and the males, oh my God, and there's a fire to it, which I think it has to do with the vetiver, but I don't know how they mix it. It is in the center of the whole thing. So I see where the sun is really shining. So very, very lovely. I would like to see on a male. I'm going to spray it on my husband and see how would that work, but I really like it. I usually like more an oud fragrance, but this is very lovely. Wow. And so now, just out of curiosity, because obviously I have the moon, and it is settling down, it is quieting it down quite a bit, which that's a good thing. So perhaps I'm gonna have to pin how it runs through the day, because what ends up happening sometimes with these fragrances is, you know, I apply them right here, they're very strong, and then they mellow down, and then they become a lot more comfortable to wear, and then I could say, oh, I definitely will wear it. Also has happened where, you know, you apply the fragrance, you love it, you're like, oh, it's understated and it's lovely, and then 2 hours into it, you don't smell it at all, or it turned into something that you don't like. And so even though here I'm trying and I'm saying I love it, then I wouldn't buy it because I don't like how it runs or smells throughout the day. So it's a little iffy in that way. So perhaps I can pin down there, down below, how it smelled throughout the day, because the moon has, the moon fragrance has mellowed down a lot. The sweetness that was becoming overwhelming has mellowed down and is becoming very, very flower pleasant. So, and so does this. Oh my God. And now I combine them too. It is combinable, but I don't necessarily love it as much as I love them independent and then being in the same room together. So far, what they are claiming to be doing with the fragrances work. So in that, I applaud the Harmonist. So I think we're gonna end up here. I only spoke about the two, but I wanted to separate it like they did. And so I'll do another video now testing all the elements and revealing if my element applies to the fragrance that they chose for me. And so I hope you're having fun with me discovering the Harmonist. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do at this moment. Please ring the bell on the right hand corner. Please give me a thumbs up. Please comment below, request, suggest if you own this. What do you think? And do you like this idea of the quiz, finding out your element, you know, the complementary, all of this jazz? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.